Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE Unscripted with your host, Austin Collins. And oh, come on, not again. What is that noise? Do you hear that? Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, the glass is shattering. Glass is breaking because today, worldwide, is no, not Titus, but it is Austin 316, and that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so. What? Give me your best Stone Cold impression. What? The 3-time Royal Rumble winner I am myself. In 1997, 98, and 01. WWE Hall of Famer, and the 1996 King of the Ring winner, where I put on one of the best promos in the business. And I said, Austin 316 says I just whipped you. But, really, let's just congratulate, because today it's Austin 316. And Austin 316, National Day, pretty exciting. We are seeing, well, Steve Austin being remembered for the legend that he is. And perhaps we could have Stone Cold come back in the ring one day, I really hope. One of the greats of our time, one of the greatest legends. But, yeah, congrats to Steve Austin for his own day. I ain't got my own day. You know, Rusev, though, does have Rusev Day. Every day of the calendar. 365, maybe 66 days of the year. Yes, 66 days of the year. But I mean, congrats to the Stone Cold, because, I mean, not a lot of people get to have their own day. You know, I got interrupted with the Bayley and Sasha. I'm alright with that. But Stone Cold, I'm not really a big fan. I'm trying to do my radio show, then he just decides to take over, but he usually always takes over. But anyways, let's, thank you guys for listening. Hopefully you listen to my Bayley and Sasha. If not, head on over and listen to that. But let's go ahead and start. So first up we got Raw, and then we had... Oh, come on. Can somebody get this under control? Can somebody get this under control for my microphone? Cut the music. Cut the music. My name's Austin. This is my show here. Dang. Don't take over my show. As I was saying, we saw Drew McIntyre, well, get involved a little bit Monday, cause when... Oh. Some production crew. Come on, guys. Get this. Microphone's working, guys. Come on, let's get fixed. What just happened? But glad the interruption's done. I'm gonna let you guys comment and tell me your favorite Stone Cold Steve Austin moment from his career, and tell me your favorite moment, whether it's an interview or a match or your favorite feud, whatever. Favorite move. Just comment and tell me your favorite, cause I'd love to hear. And I'll try to do the best I can to reply. I check all my stuff daily. So just tell me. But I'm going to give you guys just a couple seconds to think about that. And then so that you can comment. Or they can comment after. But I'll just give you a couple more seconds to think about that. Now, cue the music. No music. It's almost like it waits to interrupt. Of course, there it is. There it is, folks. Okay, I think I've given you guys quite a little bit of time to think, and you can comment whenever on it, obviously, but just want to kind of share an experience with you guys. Okay. First, I'd like to say my favorite Stone Cold moment would have to be when he Stone Cold stunned Mr. McMahon for the first time, because after that pop that the crowd had after what happened, it went crazy. It was amazing. But okay, now I want to talk some really about my radio show. So Raw. This past Monday on Raw, we saw Roman Reigns. Well, let's start off at the beginning of Raw. That is, we saw the Shield for the very last time. And they did their fist, and that was it. Well, Roman Reigns in the main event was scheduled to have a match against Baron Corbin. Drew McIntyre attacked him. Claymore kicked him, and then Claymore kicked him again face first into the post. So Reigns was helped to the back by Rollins and officials and the doctor. Fused medical attention away. Finally went to a medic backstage to the trainer's room, and then Ambrose walks backstage, finds Triple H and says, "I want a match with McIntyre tonight." Falls count anyway, and it was one heck of a main event. Drew McIntyre won, but they fought at the merchandise at the food stand, the crowd, the press box, the other side of the arena crowd. It's everywhere. But it ended with, well, one, he took a pencil and stabbed it in Ambrose's eye. McIntyre, this is the most dangerous man inside the WWE at this point. Right now in the current that we watch. And then he puts Ambrose's head inside one of the, railing barricade, with the railing handle that you walk down from behind the stage, behind the announce table, and Claymore kicked him, and it ripped it from the hinges. It ripped it out of the ground, out of the stage. It was terrible to watch, and then Ambrose gets back up after that. McIntyre goes, Claymore kicks him. He is out. So that's what happened with the Shield. And also Seth Rollins with the Shield, actually. Shelton Benjamin is on Raw now, and then Brock Lesnar's dirty work, because he was talking, Seth Rollins was talking to Paul Heyman, and then Benjamin comes from behind, attacks him. They had a match. Rollins won, but I believe Rollins won. Yes, he did. But I mean, it was crazy. It was a good match. It was crazy to see Shelton Benjamin back on Raw. Or to be on Raw. It was crazy. We saw Lacey Evans come out and strut, and she did impress Nia Jax and Tamina. Neither Renee Young, so she put a feint and blocked Renee Young when she went to the announce table. But we did see Lacey Evans come out and do that, and then she did impress Nia and Tamina, because Nia and Tamina's music hit. They came out as Lacey Evans was walking back, and I just said, whatever, did a face, and continued. Now with that, we're seeing the Glamazon return to Raw, because Natalya said that she don't trust Ronda Rousey like she knew. Not the same woman she thought she knew. She don't trust Nia Jax or Tamina. But she does trust her best friend, and that is when the Glamazon Beth Phoenix music hit. And with that, we're seeing a lot of things leading to a WrestleMania match. A lot of clues, hints, I'm thinking we're only 3-4 weeks out. And it's getting closer to them announcing the match. It'll be very good. I think, well, we'll talk about WrestleMania later on. But then, so Tamina holds Natalya's feet and cheats in the Nia versus Natalya match 1-on-1. So then Beth goes in the ring, attacks Natalya, takes out Tamina and Natalya and Beth was standing strong in the ring. It looks like Beth still got it. Okay. I had the honor and privilege of meeting her. Very nice and great competitor in the ring, so that's pretty awesome. Okay. Excuse me, I just talked about that. Dana Brooke looks to stand up for what's right and that is the unprofessional actions, as WWE would like to quote, when they, later on this week, after all, they fined Ronda Rousey an amount of money, but due to the confidentiality of Rousey's contract, the amount will not be discussed, but WWE has to care of the matter for unprofessional actions. On this past Monday, she destroyed Dana Brooke outside the ring. All Dana wanted was an opportunity for a match. By the way, people, she's going to get it this Monday. Yes, 2 days from when I'm doing this on Austin 316. What? She is going to get a match. And she's going to get for the Raw Women's Championship on Monday Night Raw against Rousey. But, Rousey slapped a ref, made him go down to the ground. Was, saying very bad things on live television. She got, taken care of, I guess WWE said. But we saw Braun Strowman destroy a car from, to be honest, I don't remember how to say his name. It's the, two who host the news segment of, Saturday Night Live. Joe Colston, or, you guys know who I'm talking about. Anyways, the two co-correspondents of WrestleMania and Saturday Night Live cast, after what happened 2 weeks ago, sent Braun Strowman a car. A new Camaro convertible, I believe, and he destroyed it with his two bare hands. Very scary, but awesome to watch. It was crazy to watch. Oh, and then after the Nia and Tamina situation, well, guess what happened? Sasha Banks and Bayley taught them a lesson in respect when they attacked them backstage, and then was pulled off because the Boss and I Connection, forced and current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions that will never lose them, is gonna definitely keep them at WrestleMania, and far beyond that, I don't think they'll ever lose them, honestly, if you ask my personal opinion. But then we saw Beth Phoenix and Natalya as a team, so I'm thinking we'll see a triple threat for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The Divas of Doom, formerly known, I guess you call them the Women's of Doom now? Maybe still Divas of Doom versus the Boss and Her Connection. Yes, that'll be my vote versus Nia and Tamina. So I'm thinking that could happen. But it's going to be interesting to see this Monday. Beth Phoenix is going to get back in the ring or not. But we saw, I want to talk about Batista and Triple H last on this card because it's on the cards from Raw this past week. Well, it's a segment, but I still want to talk about it. It's still part of the card. Okay. We saw Lashley get handed a opportunity due to Lio Rush. Lio, I have a lot of respect for you as an in-ring competitor and as a man, but that was not cool what you did. You should have not came and run the belt, get Finn Balor jacked up. He would have beat your man, Bobby Lashley. So, Finn Balor lost the title to Bobby Lashley. He's going for a coup de grace. Lio ring the bell. Charles Robinson tried to tell Balor that the match was not over. It's still officially going. So then he goes to doing kick to the side of the head. Enziguri to running Enziguri off the apron to Rush, who was on the apron. And then he went down, do it springboard, and Lashley caught him in a spear. It was devastating. But we saw that. And then we saw Aleister Black and Ricochet defeated Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. They faded Black and was introduced to the one and only. I don't know who's going to stop this team. Now they're in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic 2019. The finals going to take place at NXT TakeOver New York, I believe. The night before WrestleMania on a Saturday, April 6th. Exclusively on the WWE Network, network.com right now, and get a 30-day free trial. I believe, yes, it should. You should get WrestleMania, Hall of Fame, all the activities from WrestleMania week, NXT TakeOver New York for free. Go get it right now. If you don't already have it, and if you do have it, Congratulations. You are awesome. Okay. We saw No Way, No Way Jose get taught a lesson, definitely. I mean, No Way Jose interrupted Elias, not a good idea. Kind of like not a good idea taking a page out of Naomi's book with it. Hell. But hey, if it makes him happy, I'm fine with it. But Elias taught him a lesson. Beat him up, did a drift away on the steel ramp. It was terrible to see. We saw a moment of bliss reveal the WrestleMania host. And it's Alexa Bliss. Very well deserved. Good job with that. I mean, she is a multi-time WWE Women's SmackDown Live and Raw champion. Never an NXT champion. More of a afterthought in NXT, but it's definitely proved that she belongs to WWE. Sasha Bailey ain't hosting. They would be the best pick to host out of the females because, well, they're the best of all time, but they're going to be too busy defending the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, so congrats to Bliss. I want to talk about Batista. Batista comes out with security. He comes out here demanding to do it his way. Well, the game was not going to have it that way. But it was that way to a point. But to that point is Batista's last match at WrestleMania versus the game, the Cerebral Assassin, the King of Kings, Triple H. And I'm kind of thinking this is going to be a retirement match. Whoever loses is forced to retire. Because he said, my last match against you and your last match against me. So please don't retire, Triple H. Batista, I don't want you to either, but you would be as big of a loss as Triple H, because Triple H is one of my favorites of all time. Batista is too, but I like Triple H better. So I'll be going Batista on that. But I want to talk about that, and Triple H picked the stipulation, which was a no-holds-barred. So the match is official. Batista, the animal, versus the game, the man, Triple H at WrestleMania. Now, something else I do want to talk about is SmackDown Live. Oh, one other thing. Kurt Angle is going to have his retirement run for the next 4 weeks, starting this past Monday. And, I mean, we're seeing him. He went up against Apollo Crews in his last match ever in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on Raw. We're seeing him up against someone like that caliber. Who's he going to face at WrestleMania? My opinion, John Cena. Simple. Cena debuted against him. Angle's going to retire against him, in my opinion. Actually, before we talk about SmackDown, I want to say a couple shout-outs. One, I would like to say a shout-out to Booker T for becoming a 2-time Hall of Famer this year, because the Harlem Heat is going to be inducted this year in the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that, sucker? I think you can, because they very well deserve relations. Shawn Michaels going to be a 2-time Hall of Famer this year. Okay. Now, also I want to say congratulations to WWE. They reached 1 billion followers. 1 billion followers. That's amazing. Very great job. There's a lot of followers between Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, I believe, was the 4 sources. Now, I want to talk about WrestleMania for a second, and I think the Triple Threat Tag Team for the women's titles. The Boston Hug Connection, yes, versus the Divas of Doom, a.k.a. Women's of Doom now, versus Nia and Tamina. Boston Hug Connection. I think Undertaker is going to be at Mania. He's going to be facing Elias. Elias has kind of been saying some remarks, not saying verbally, but in the ring physically, using old school quite a bit recently. I'm thinking it's going to be Elias versus Taker. Be a great match. Cena versus Angle. Gargano versus Ciampa after Ciampa tried to turn on Gargano, and Gargano caught him. and slammed Ciampa face first. That was awesome. But if that happens at WrestleMania, that might be a little while after now that his neck surgery. But I want to talk about something, and that is, well, that is, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pause. I was trying to. We'll talk about SmackDown, then talk about Fastlane this past Sunday. A couple things about SmackDown Live is that tag team action led to frustration of the New Day taking it out, releasing it on 5 other teams. So yeah, well, about two other teams, but still. We saw AJ and Orton set the. Well, first let me tell you who was in that match, so you know what happened. It was Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar versus and Rusev and Shinsuke, 8-man tag versus Ricochet and Aleister and the Hardy Boys. All of them start slugging it out. Then comes the New Day, starts beating everybody up. So, fingers crossed, guys. Dan says that WrestleMania, please, if management hears this, please put them in something. I want to talk about AJ and Orton because everything they said about each other was true almost, except a couple things. I'm all AJ at Mania. It is official. But AJ Styles, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, if you hear this, Randy Orton ain't there because of his fault. He's on everything he's got. Honestly, but I do get your point. Same as Charlotte Flair. I don't think Charlotte Flair's there at all just because of her dad. She's an amazing athlete, would have been anyways. But she is technically genetically superior, so I get why people use that against them too. About these third, fourth, second generation superstars, however you want to say it. But I want to talk about AJ Styles and Randy Orton because that's what's the segment of the week. Segment of the week, everybody. Segment of the week. And now it's set, and I'm voting for AJ Styles. The Usos called out the tag team division for the 6-time chance to defend against somebody, and that somebody needs to be Gallows and Anderson. Everybody on SmackDown Live, heck, everybody on Monday Night Raw at Survivor Series got a chance to challenge the Usos before. I'm just talking about over years and years of this build up. Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, the club. Too sweet to you two, good brothers, if you hear this. Not getting enough opportunities. I mean, honestly, come on. They're the best tag team on SmackDown Live. Even if other people don't agree with that, you have to admit they are one of the best. So please give them that match at Mania. Sonya Deville wasn't ready for Asuka due to Mandy Rose holding the apron and kind of, well, it's awkward how it worked out, but let's just say Mandy Rose did it on purpose, I think. Daniel Bryan and Rowan defeated Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali. It's a good match, but, well, yeah, it was a tag team match. Daniel Bryan went backstage and told Vince his honest opinion before he announced Kofi's WrestleMania moment or opportunity. But then he put him in a tag team match, Vince, so I don't guess he's too happy with Daniel. Let's talk about, though, here it is. Let's talk about, first before we talk about Kofi and Vince, talk about Truth and Mysterio pulled out a victory over, well, Rey Mysterio actually is the one who pinned the U.S. champion Samoa Joe and Andrade. He pinned Samoa Joe. He got mad, so he took out Truth with the Uranagi, Andrade, and no, that's it. But still, it was rough. I'm glad Mysterio got out of there. And Shane is very not happy with everybody, apparently. He's got some frustration. I'm all Shane, though, against The Miz. This Tuesday, there's going to be, Miz is going to respond to Shane, so that'll be interesting to see what he says. But the only other thing on SmackDown Live would be talk about Charlotte and Becky's pretty confident going into WrestleMania, and I'm going with the Queen. Woo! Charlotte Flair for this one. And I think she's going to beat Rousey and Becky. Hopefully it'll be Dana Brooke, Becky, and Charlotte. Maybe, or just something. Hopefully Rousey ain't in the main event. I'm sorry, I just don't personally think. But I'm most respectful way, I hope not. Okay. Now let's talk about Fastlane now. Oh, well, we need to talk about... Yeah, let's talk about Fastlane before I tell you about the Kofi and Vince at SmackDown this past Tuesday. Okay, so what happened was we saw Vince McMahon this past Tuesday. Kofi Goats, or I guess the McMahon family on the pre-show got Kofi to come to the office to talk about WWE Championship opportunity, where he's waiting outside all night. Finally, Big E and Kofi, or excuse me, Big E and Xavier come back and just marches in the door, and Vince says, the triple threat, he said you're in a match, and tonight's it's going to be a triple threat match for the WWE Championship, and that match is right now. Well, he never said Kofi was in a triple threat match. He just said, your match is right now. So, Kofi goes out there and gets a handicap match against the Bar and gets demolished. Lost terribly. I'm sorry, but it honestly was. Then we saw on the pre-show, Xavier Woods and Big E defeated Rusev Day. I call it Rusev Day still. I know it ain't English, but Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura. We saw them beat them. The New Day beat Rusev and Shinsuke with line up ringside. Very good match. Then we saw triple threat tag impresses, and that was Ricochet and Aleister versus the Revival versus Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. I said the Revival would win, but wow, one heck of an effort. And what move by Ricochet going over the post. Amazing match. Give it up for them. We saw the Shield defend its yard in the main event. When they defended against McIntyre, Corbin, and Lashley, they wasn't going down with that fight. Corbin gave it his all. He lasted in there against the Big Dog for actually a while, but amazing match. Diving off 15-foot barricades in the crowd. Within the WWE Universe. Triple power bombs in the ring through the announce table. Everything you could think of. It was amazing. But then we saw even a End of Days. Yes, even an End of Days. And a Deep Six. But let's talk about oh, yes. So I was trying to think what match I was covering next. Let's talk about the Usos. Because they retained against Shane and The Miz. And Shane took it out on The Miz. Grabbed Mr. Miz, The Miz's dad, by the face and shoved him back in the chair. Then put Miz in an armbar. He destroyed The Miz. I was pretty happy with it. Mandy failed to Asuka. She was not ready for Asuka, but she was if it wasn't for Sonya Deville with the apron trying to get something out. Then Mandy slipped on it. Asuka lock, it was all over. I believe, yes. But AJ comes out of nowhere, and yes, that does sound a little strange. Excuse me. AJ comes out of nowhere. But it's the truth, because what we saw happen was Elias out here performing well. Orton RKO out of nowhere. Very out of nowhere, because he's not even on Raw. Then AJ phenomenal form out of nowhere, so that was pretty exciting. And we saw the best match of Fastlane, in my opinion, was Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boss and Her connection, because there ain't no connection like the Boss and Her connection, versus, just think about it this way, versus Nia Jax and Tamina, and Nia Jax and Tamina were sore losers because the Boss and Her connection retained. And then they were sore losers. Then they beat up Beth Phoenix because Beth Phoenix took a stand. So now that's where our situation is with that. But that's match of the night, in my opinion. Now, SmackDown Live this past Tuesday, Vince McMahon, plumb out, told Kofi, you don't deserve an opportunity. Kofi says, I've worked my tail off for 11 years. 11 years not being able to go trick-or-treating with my children once, not being able to do all this stuff. And you know what happened? He gave him an opportunity. A gauntlet match. But not any gauntlet match. Against Vince McMahon's picked members of the gauntlet match. And I don't know what you're supposed to do with this match. But, I mean, with a match like that, can Kofi win it? It's the question for this Tuesday. Because Kofi Kingston will, excuse me, this microphone's breaking up some, I think. Or it is on my end. Can Kofi Kingston win a gauntlet? And if he does, he's going to, WrestleMania for WWE Championship opportunity, I think. I don't know, Mr. McMahon could be tricking him again, but Vince McMahon says he always teaches a teachable moment, so that's what he did, I guess. Don't trust Vince McMahon. Personally, I mean, in the business, but, I mean, great guy. He's the only reason there is a division, a whole company, but thank you, Vince, for all you do. But let's talk about, who he's going to be facing in that gauntlet. He's going to be facing Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania if he can defeat next week in a gauntlet match Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, Cesaro, Sheamus, and Rowan. One heck of a a group of individuals that he's going to have to beat. But I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to Mania. So congratulations to him on that. But I think that about wraps this up. Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. Remember to comment or like, subscribe, share, or do whatever. Comment. Tell me your best Steve Austin memory or moment. And comment down below with that. And I will talk to you here soon. And a too sweet to everybody. Happy Austin 316 Day. And I'm out. What? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin here. And here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to WWE Unscripted Radio. You're gonna click on that channel. You're gonna subscribe, or else I'm gonna have to come to your house, get out my pickup truck, and whip your butt. This is PG, so I'm trying to be careful, but if you don't subscribe, you're gonna have a problem with the rattlesnake from Victoria, Texas himself. So subscribe. Happy Austin 316 Day. Too sweet, and I'm out. What?